welcome all of you to this B20-G20-FAO Dialogue on a very important subject, which is sustainable food system. And the objective of this initiative is to raise awareness on the sustainability of food systems and on nutrition-related issues worldwide. The sustainability of food system relies on the capacity of all involved actors to ensure fair access to natural resources and the necessary quantity and quality of safe and nutritious food to everyone. In this framework, an enhanced cooperation among states would enable business providing critical support and precious transfer of know-how across countries and sectors, contributing to a fairer and sustainable development. The sound trade and investment global governance is more than ever key. Improving market access by removing tariffs, barriers, as well as unjustified sanitary and phytosanitary obstacles would safeguard the necessary level of food safety while increasing the availability of raw materials and commodities, making food system a true asset for growth worldwide. So, dear Minister, dear Director General, we look for a true partnership with public actors, and we are ready to engage for the benefit of all. Thank you very much.
Food security is more important than ever before, and it deserves all of the attention that national and international institutions are giving it. Therefore, the business sector must join these efforts, working closely with the Food Coalition Initiative, recently launched ad hoc by FAO, to better address food security. It will be absolutely essential to focus on the role of free trade agreements in light of the close interconnection already mentioned in tackling the protectionist measures that were visible at the beginning of the pandemic. The Italian food system has the opportunity to establish itself as a model of global sustainable production and consumption. Sustainability in all of its dimensions is not only a destination, but also a fellow traveler. It is why we can boast a model able to respond to the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development Goals, which can be truly effective in the long run only if achieved gradually.
The world leadership must tackle the food systems as a whole if we want to solve its inefficiencies and bottlenecks. Only by looking at the entire picture, we can identify solutions and make progress. Italy is proud to host the first phase of the Food Systems Summit in Rome from July 26 to 28, where we aim at consolidating the preparatory work on pledges to improve global food systems. Italy is ready to bring these proposals to the Food Systems Summit in Rome this July as a complementary vision between local and global food systems. Caring for the territory, preserving the landscape, protecting forgotten varieties and crops, and safeguarding an historical food culture are Italian best practices we intend to share. We need the contribution of all stakeholders when we talk of innovation and investments in food systems. People, planet, and prosperity will be the center of our action. I trust that our common commitment will make a difference. Thank you very much to all of you.
And the value added of agro-food system in Italy can be benefited to other members in the world. So I strongly encourage my colleague here in Italy, let's work together with FAO to how to transform Italia agro-food system more efficient, more inclusive, more resilient, and more sustainable. That's why you need the more investment. Let's work together to implement the outcome of the UN Food Summit and pre-summit. Because FAO is only UN intergovernmental deal with the food and agriculture issues. It's a UN intergovernmental professional organization. So we have to use this Food Systems Summit as a catalyst and speed up the process of the G2030 agenda?
And the private sector is a key actor in the agri-food global value chains, which has become an important part of the food system. They represent 1/3 of the food system. So global value chains and local value chains need to complement to each other. And I think Italy is a clear example of that, and many countries. And that's why we need to find ways to accelerate and to improve so that we can optimize the way we use our natural resources, and especially to increase the access to diversity of diets so that people can achieve these healthy diets. But we also need multi-stakeholder partnerships. It's not just governments. It's not just the private sector, civil society, and academia. We have to work together and interact for that. And finally, and most importantly, we need data, innovation, technology, and what FAO calls complements, which is bringing the institutions and the governance and the human capital to make data, technology, and innovation inclusive for all.
The World Food Programme estimated that almost 300 million people in 35 countries where it works are in lack of sufficient food, an increase of more than 100 million in a single year. Trade is a crucial part of the solution of this huge problem. Producing and storing enough food is not sufficient on its own. Food products must reach those in need. Hence, avoiding trade restrictions in food and agricultural products is an urgent matter on which my B20 task force will convey sound recommendation to the G20. So the B20 is fully committed to a multilateral trading system that must be open, non-discriminant, and rule-based.
Each culture can precisely provide both innovative and adaptive responses. And an innovative and adaptive approach is deeply embedded in the Mediterranean diet through a transversal approach that brings together cultural and natural dimensions. Culture is the binding element that shapes the interaction between people and nature.
Very important to preserve our planet, to recommend a Mediterranean diet that has been demonstrated that it's the healthiest diet because it reduces the most prevalent diseases like cardiovascular disease, cancer, neurodegenerative disease, and so on, but also it's very good for the planet. So we have to recommend to everybody to follow the Mediterranean diet, not only in Spain and Italy, and also in the other countries, as I said.
The resilience of food systems must be increased to minimize risk by strengthening investment and the capacity to prevent emergencies. In this sense, the One Health approach is our guiding framework of action. The key factors for a strong partnership between public institutions and private sector, in my opinion, are the spread of technology and innovation, the accessible of use of data, DG said, renewed investment in human capital, and open market with fair rules of all.